Okay, welcome. Welcome to the meeting of the Harwich Board of Appeals on this date, May 27th. The purpose of this meeting is to hear and assign applications before the Board of Appeals, which have been brought pursuant to the bylaw of the town of Harwich and the Massachusetts Zoning Enabling Act. As required by law, the town may audio or video record this meeting, which we are. Any person intending to either audio or video record this open session is required to inform the chair. During this meeting, the chair will recognize promptly a member of the board, the secretary, and the attorney presenting a case to inform the chair if a protocol is not being followed. While in open session, those wishing to present comments or ask questions regarding a case are requested to fill out information form on the podium, which is over there. Okay, so obviously the applicants can sit with their attorney at the table, that's not a problem. Okay, I'd like to have the board members introduce themselves.
David Wilson.
Alexander Donahue.
Brian Sullivan.
John August.
Okay. And I'd like to have, did I give you this stuff yet?
Not yet.
Okay. I'd like to have the clerk call the first case. There you go.
All right, case number 2026-07. Vincent and Janine Helfrich, trustees, represented by Andrew Singer's office, owners of the property located at 3329 Snow Inn Road. This is map parcel 8, P3 and P4 in the RL zoning district. The applicant seeks a special permit under the 325-54A non-conforming structures and uses, 325 attachment 3, table 3, height and bulk regulation, 325 attachment 2, table 2, area to construct an addition onto a main dwelling at 33 Snow Inn Road, demolish the existing single-family home at 29 Snow Inn Road, and merge 33 Snow Inn Road with the adjacent property at 29 Snow Inn, pursuant to the Harwich zoning bylaw of 325-54 Mass General Law 48, Section 6. Per the Harwich Conservation Agent, the project was filed with the Conservation Commission and was heard on May 20, but that hearing is now scheduled for June. Harwich Highway and Fire Department commented they had no concerns. No other comments from other town departments were received. All right, letters from the abutters were received in support of the applicant's application from Lisa Breen, Jack Welch of 42 and 45 Snow Inn Road, and John P. Powers, neighbors with addresses in Snow Inn Road not indicated.
I'm going to read those since those neighbors took the time to support their neighbor and to write letters. I'm going to read into the record those letters, if I might. The first one is from Lisa Breen and Jack Welch. Dear Harwich Zoning Board, we live at 42 and 45 Snow Inn Road, and we're writing in support of Vin and Jeannie Helfrich proposed renovation at 33 and 29 Snow Inn Road. Every project the Helfriches have completed over the years has been well designed and built, respectful of the neighbors and within compliance of regulations. They are in a tricky lot with the Witchmere Club Harbor Room to the east in front of them and the proposed expansion of the Witchmere to their south, essentially on their property line. I believe the Helfriches' proposed renovation will fit well in this lot and be a nice addition to the neighborhood. We feel fortunate to have the Helfriches as neighbors and offer full support of their renovation. Thank you for your consideration, and please feel free to reach out if you have any questions or concerns. Sincerely, Lisa Breen and Jack Welch. The other letter in support is from John Powers. Dear Harwich Zoning Board, I am writing in strong support of the Helfrich family's proposed renovation. Having been their neighbor for decades, I can speak firsthand to their character as property owners and the members of this community. Every project the Helfriches have undertaken over the years has been completed professionally, with full respect for the neighbors and in compliance with all applicable regulations. They set a standard that others in the neighborhood would do well to follow. We are fortunate to have the Helfriches as neighbors, and I offer my wholehearted support for their renovation without reservation. Thank you for your consideration. Please do not hesitate to contact me with any questions. Sincerely, John Powers. Well, after that, maybe we're ready for a vote, but we'll.
There were several other letters.
I didn't see any others.
They were left with us today.
Oh, okay, let's go for it. I didn't catch those. Well, thank you very much. Well, since I read those in, I guess I...
You got a long reading list there.
Okay, well, you know, let's take the time here.
It's a supermajority.
This is from Dimitri Dasko. Subject support renovation of project 33 and 29 Snow Inn Road. Dear members of the board, please accept this letter as my strong endorsement of this proposed residential renovation and consolidation project at 33 and 29 Snow Inn Road, submitted by the Vincent and Jeannie Helfrich trustees. As a co-owner of Witchmere Beach Club and a resident of Snow Inn Road, I value projects that preserve the integrity, character, and environmental sensitivity of our coastal neighborhood. Over the years, the Helfrich family has consistently demonstrated professionalism, respect for neighboring properties, and genuine care for the community. I believe the proposed plan thoroughly improves the property by combining the existing structures into a single-family residence, reducing overall density and enhancing the appearance and functionality of the site. Their attention to responsible planning and neighborhood compatibility is evident throughout the proposal. In my opinion, this project will be a positive addition to Snow Inn Road and the surrounding area, and I respectfully encourage the board to approve the application. Thank you for your consideration and service to the town of Harwich. Respectfully submitted, Dimitri Dasko, co-owner of Witchmere Beach Club. The next one is from Charlene and George McLaughlin, and it was addressed to Ms. Lohr, who's our secretary on the board,
Zoning compliance.
and zoning compliance officer. Dear Ms. Lohr, my husband and I live on 54 Harbor Road and look across the harbor at the Helfrich's property at 33 and 29 Snow Inn Road. Over the years, the Helfriches have improved their property in a way that has benefited the Witchmere Harbor community. We have reviewed their plans, and we completely support their latest renovation. Thank you for your consideration. Sincerely, Charlene and George McLaughlin, 54 Harbor Road. Glad the street's not any longer. Okay, this is from James and Debbie Welch. The Howard Zoning Board. We are writing in support of our neighbors, Vin and Jeannie Helfrich, regarding their application to build a new home at 31 Snow Inn Road. We fully support the request, as the Helfrich family has been respectful, responsible, and considerate neighbors, and we believe the new home will be a positive improvement for the property and the surrounding area. The proposed construction will enhance the appearance and value of the street while maintaining the character of the neighborhood. We do not believe the project will create any negative impact on the neighboring properties. On the contrary, we believe it will contribute positively to the community overall. We respectfully ask the board to give favorable consideration to the Helfrich application. Sincerely, James and Debbie Welch. Okay, this next letter, I'm going to not read everything in this letter. I'm going to get to the highlights from the points. It's a long one, from Michael Charlotte. I hope you don't mind, I don't read it all, but I will if you request.
That's
Okay.
fine, that's totally fine.
Letter of full support for the residential renovation at 33 Snow Inn Road. Dear Chair, members of the board, I'm writing to you today in my capacity as Managing Director of Witchmere Beach Club, located immediately adjacent to the property owned by Vincent and Jeannie Helfrich, trustees at 33 and 29 Snow Inn Road. I want to express our enthusiastic and unequivocal support of the proposed renovation project to merge the two existing residential structures on this property into a single-family residence. As immediate neighbors, we share a deep investment in the visual character, environmental health, and overall community fabric of this area. Over the years, we have come to know the Helfrich family as exceptional neighbor and a highly conscientious steward of their property. Because of this established relationship, we have complete confidence in their vision and commitment to executing this project with the highest standards of care. What makes this application particularly noteworthy is the deliberate, thoughtful approach they have taken throughout the planning process. Rather than designing in a vacuum, they have been entirely transparent, proactively engaging with us to ensure their plans harmonize with the surrounding ecosystem and community. It is clear to us that their goals extend far beyond merely improving the property. They have engineered a plan that is deeply responsible to the town, the environment, and the neighbors. We believe this project represents a significant net positive for our coastal neighborhood and for several substantive reasons. And I'll just list the reasons and not get into the rest of the paragraph. Environmental sensitive and sound planning, neighborly responsibility and thoughtful stewardship, architectural harmony and density reduction. We understand the coordination required to execute properly transformations that are both beautiful and operationally sound. The Helfrichs have a balanced, personal, modern use with profound respect for the community's long-term well-being. For these reasons, we wholeheartedly offer our resounding endorsement. We respectfully urge the board to grant the necessary approvals so that this thoughtful, environmentally responsible enhancement to our neighborhood can move forward. Thank you for your time and consideration of this matter. Sincerely, Michael Charlotte, Managing Director of the Witchmere Beach Club. This is from Jeffrey Lyric, another co-owner at Witchmere Beach Club. To the members of the Zoning Board of Appeals, dear Chair, members of the board, I am writing in my capacity as co-owner of Witchmere Beach Club, immediately adjacent to the properties owned by the Vincent and Jeannie Helfrich trustees at 29 and 33 Snow Inn Road, to express my strong support for the proposed consolidation and renovation of the two existing residential structures into a single-family residence. As neighbors, we share a deep investment in the character, environmental health, and long-term vitality of this area. Over the years, we have come to know the Helfrich family as exceptional neighbors and highly responsible stewards of their property. I have complete confidence in their vision and commitment to carrying out this project with care and integrity. What distinguishes this proposal is a thoughtful and transparent approach the Helfriches have taken throughout the planning process. Their efforts reflect not only a commitment to improving, it's probably another butter calling in, but anyways, I have complete confidence in their vision and commitment to carrying out this project with care and integrity. What distinguishes this proposal is a thoughtful and transparent approach the Helfriches have taken throughout the planning process. Their efforts reflect not only a commitment to improving the property, but also clear respect for the surrounding community and environment. We believe this project will provide meaningful benefits to the neighborhood, including reduced density and lot coverage, improved environmental infrastructure, and stormwater management, preservation of open space, and the architectural design and that complements the traditional coastal character of the area. The Helfrich's family has consistently demonstrated consideration and respect for their neighbors, and we are confident this project will be executed responsibly and thoughtfully. For these reasons, we wholeheartedly support this application, respectfully urge the board to grant us the necessary approvals. Thank you for your time and consideration. Sincerely, Jeffrey Lorraine, co-owner, Witchmere Beach Club. Apologize that I overlooked those copies, but I'm glad you brought it to my attention. Yeah, I probably do. Okay. I'd like to have the attorney presenting the case introduce themselves and those assisting you.
Wonderful. For the record, I'm Marion Rose from Singer & Singer in Dennisport, here on behalf of Ben Harwich, to my right, and his wife Jean. Also with us are the architects for the project, Walter Yaroche and John Sharon. I'm going to keep their comments to a minimum because I think that the comments you heard from the neighbors speak to the design that they provided.
Well, they seem to be slightly in favor of the
They
project.
do seem to be so. But if you have any questions, they're here to answer any
Okay.
questions. Also, I have Sean Riley, who's from Ty and Bond. He's participating remotely. And because this is a combined two-lot project, I would like him to be able to share a
Yeah,
plan.
we need to unmute both those gentlemen, I believe. Okay,
As we're doing that, I just want to frame this. We are asking for a special permit under 32554. This is a project where it's an addition to a pre-existing non-conforming home. They had the opportunity, Mr. Helfrich has lived and owned this house since 1995. This project, or this house, may be familiar to you because there was a special permit back in
Yes.
2023.
yes.
There was an addition at that time just on 33 Snow Inn Road. In the meantime, they've been able to purchase 29 Snow Inn Road. And so this project gave them the flexibility to add that, merge that lot in with 33, and then remove the house at 29.
Just to be, in case of some reason I'm mistaken here. Well, first of all, just before we go any further, I just need a comment regarding merging the lots, 33 and 29 Snow Inn Road, that although it's referred to in the case description, the approval of the merging of these two lots is not a matter before this board tonight.
No, it is not. We
Right,
will do
and-
that subsequent
Right.
to your hearing. We
As a
will
merge will
do
need to be
that.
endorsed by the planning board
Correct,
in the form of an A&R plan and application.
correct,
But it was mentioned in the case.
yes.
I just want to refer to that. The other
correct.
thing is, obviously, when I go to the lot, what first initially always confused me was the numbering of 31
Right.
in the back. So when all gets said and done, we're going to have two structures on 33 Snow Inn Road.
Correct,
Okay. I
Well,
mean,
on the
everything
merged lot,
refers
yes.
to combining to one house, but the bottom line is, what is referred to for identification on the lot, 31, is actually which is, it's not separately, it is not separately noted as 31 on town documents.
right,
As far as town concerned, there's two structures at 33,
Correct.
through in
Yes.
Snow Inn Road.
correct,
And what was on 29, that comes down, and all the construction here is being done, what has been noted as 31, but actually it still is on 33 Snow Inn Road.
correct,
So we'll end up with two residences on that property.
correct.
Okay,
And where 29 is now, there will be lawn. It will not be replaced with structure.
sure, I understand that.
Great.
Okay, well,
At this
All
point,
set?
I'm going to pass it over to our expert, Sean, if you're able.
Sure. Good evening. For the record, Sean Riley, professional engineer with Ty and Bond. Cole Bateman is joining me as well. If I can be authorized to just share my screen.
Certainly.
it's,
There we go. Great. All right. Is everybody able to see my screen?
Yes.
yep,
Great. So just a high-level overview, as you discussed, just to give some clarification to 29 and what is represented as 33. The 33 is in the cyan color, and 29 is represented by the highlighted yellow color. There's an existing four-bedroom dwelling on 29, and as you mentioned, that is to be raised, demolished, and not replaced. And the addition would be added on to what is now a four-bedroom dwelling, which is a main dwelling on 33. And then there is a one-bedroom guest cottage. You should have received a letter from the Board of Health. They have approved the project to relocate the system well beyond the resource areas. We removed, in the proposal, removed the septic system that is currently right under what you see as 29 Snow Inn Road in this location. So they were very happy to see a reduction of bedrooms on the property from 9 to 7 with this change, and relocating the septic system outside of the resource area and the buffer zones. So this is, when you look at the zoning table that is on the proposed plan, you'll see that we give you coverages existing for 33, which includes both of the structures on 33, and also that on 29. So when you're looking at and referencing the zoning table that has all the coverages and setbacks, that's what we're referring to on these plans. And again, the plans that you have before you show the addition to the main dwelling on 33, on 29 being demolished, and the modifications in replacement of the septic system components that are now further away.
Now-
So just give that clarification on a high level. If anybody has any questions, if not, I'll pass it back over to Marion to do her presentation.
Just the plans you referred to with the tables, that's a revised plan dated May 18th, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right, thank you.
Great. Sean, while you're there, would you pull up the proposed condition plan as well?
Yes, let me just stop sharing and share that screen again. Give me 1 second.
By the way, the Board of Health, at least their approval, I did not see the letter prior to the meeting, but that's not an issue for tonight. It just, it will be needed for them to sign off on the eventual building permits that are done, okay, at a time. So it doesn't impact anything we're doing tonight, the fact I haven't seen it.
Thank you.
Very good. Are you able to see my screen now?
Yes, but it may be, I'm going to reference my map that I have in front of me. I think it might be easier for you all to do that as well. This is a combined lot, and so you're saying 29 is on the south side and 33 is on the north side. When it's combined, there are, well, as existing, there are pre-existing non-conforming conditions. The lot size is pre-existing non-conforming, where 40,000 square feet should be required, and 33 is roughly 12,000 square feet, and 29 is 4,000 and change. And so combined, it's continuing to be pre-existing non-conforming, but less so, less non-conforming. With regard to the setbacks as combined, when you're taking out 29, which is so close to the south side setback, 1.5 or 1.6 feet, that setback is still non-conforming, but it goes from the closest structure, which is the guest house, and that's 13.5. On the north side, it's the same setback. It's 33, the existing building, but the addition is no closer. I think that a member of the board asked for us to call out how close the addition was, and that was what this May plan did, and it's 12.3 feet. It's no closer. 3.5 feet is the existing setback that's non-conforming. In addition, there are changes that are made as proposed. There's a curb cut that services 29, and there's an easement, driveway, and parking area. Those areas would be removed. There will be one curb cut on Snow Inn Road, which is important for Snow Inn Road, I believe. There's also site coverage, which is pre-existing non-conforming. It will be less non-conforming with this proposed work. One of the reasons for that is taking out that driveway, but it's about 1,000 feet less. It's hard for me to read those numbers, but let's see if we can pull them here.
So the lot coverage goes down by about 5%.
Right. And so that's a significant impact. And in terms of the septic, which Sean referred to, the existing septic is a cesspool at 29. That will be removed, and that's nearly on the coastal bank. I know that that's more of a conservation issue than a ZBA issue, but it's a clear benefit of pulling this back and redoing the septic well out of the 0 to 100. Under the Harwich zoning bylaw, if a building is pre-existing non-conforming, the Harwich Zoning Board of Appeals has the ability to grant a special permit upon a finding that the alteration or extension will not be substantially more detrimental to the neighborhood than the existing conditions. And under Dedrick, Gale, and Chapter 48, we're allowed to intensify one or more of those pre-existing conditions. The pre-existing condition that we'd intensify would be the building coverage, but it's only by about 498 square feet. The site coverage, as I've mentioned, is going down, and a lot of the setbacks are becoming less non-conforming as a clear benefit. We believe the environmental, the dimensional improvements, and the overwhelming public support are substantial reasons to grant the special permit. We welcome any questions y'all might have.
Council, I have a question.
Certainly.
The property to the extreme rear has no house number on it. Is that part of this project? If you look at the home,
The house closest to Snowing Road,
the one that's the closest to the harbor,
yes, that's 29.
That's 29.
is 29.
Yes,
Mhm.
There's no number in that house.
no,
Thank you.
Yeah, I had to get out Google Maps and take a look at this stuff, just to make
Yeah.
sure I hit it right.
We have everybody here to answer questions, but we think there's clear benefits here, particularly because we're taking that house down.
So, during construction, where do you see the opportunities for maintaining construction vehicles on the lot?
yes, so if you look at the south side of the lot, they call out proposed access and temporary construction staging area.
Okay, wait a minute, help me out here.
It's near the
Go down
pool.
here, right?
Yeah, it's near the swimming pool, so that area is designated for a staging area. So for construction vehicles to be off the street, and materials and whatnot to be stored in that location.
Okay. How old is 29?
29 was in the 1940s.
I believe it was, but we've gone through historic.
It's already
Yeah.
been through
Yeah.
historic on that,
Mhm.
yeah.
And it's not part of our overview on this thing. I'm not looking historic, but obviously an older home, 1940s. I'm assuming ahead of time you're gonna do, I'm not asking for some sort of survey to make sure there aren't any hazardous materials in the house, and
Yes.
and then if that happens, you're gonna be taking care of it.
Yes.
Okay. We're not looking to, we can't, I'm just making a comment that,
Right.
you know, and I don't think the building department now is going to require you to get that survey done. They may not.
But
Okay.
contractors are licensed.
Right.
It's their responsibility.
Right. So let the contractors take care of that, okay? Things have changed a little bit. Okay. Questions, David?
I was just sort of trying to understand the overall property. Does Witchmere own the land, between you
I
and the
do
water?
have all those.
So, yes, so in front, on the east side, so facing the harbor,
Yep.
it is owned by Witchmere, but back when Dr. Fennell owned the property, we bought that through an easement. So we have an easement for that property. It was the easiest way to do it at the time, rather than, I forget what the reasoning was at the time, but they said the easiest way to do this is through an easement. So we own that property through an easement. But it shows up as 23 Snowing Road in front of us.
Let's not add another number to the works.
Yeah, I know, I know, and then right on the harbor is, the bulkhead,
Right,
which is a water-dependent licensed structure through Chapter 91 that is owned by Vin and Jean Trust.
Oh.
So there's, it's a complicated lot, but there's that licensed structure with the easement in between, and then 29 and 33 and 31, and
I hadn't seen a bulkhead under a lawn like that before. It's interesting structure.
yeah.
Thank you. That's all for me, Brian.
Al?
I got no further questions.
John?
I think it's a beautiful project. I just have one question. It's probably more of a technicality, but the new retaining wall, which looks to me like in some cases is gonna be almost 6 feet tall,
Yes.
under zoning bylaw in town, that would be considered a structure. So when we're talking the special permit, do we really need to measure the distance from the retaining wall, which looks to me like might be 6 inches, to the property line as what is being granted, since it's a 7-foot tall retaining wall, or 6-foot tall? Versus, we're changing from the building, but the retaining wall is a structure. And I'm open to interpretation on that. The retaining walls are listed as structures.
Yes, it is a structure. So, and it's,
Given that 29 on that side, on the east side, is pre-existing non-conforming already, I think this might be an intensification.
Yeah, I think we can
Yeah,
grant it.
right.
I'm just from the standpoint
Right.
of what we're granting.
Right.
I want it
Yeah, that
would-
to
sure.
be accurate.
to what extent is any of that retaining wall there now?
Well, so basically, the foundation of the house, which is basically on the lot line,
Right.
is acting as retaining wall.
The retaining wall's new, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we probably need to address the retaining wall in our decision.
Yeah, I think it just is addressed in the setback calculation,
Right.
right? Because I don't think that rear setback, if we use the retaining wall,
Right.
is going to be, 5.5 feet.
So why don't we change, instead of,
The 5.5 feet's from the front corner, I think.
Right,
Yeah,
Now it's a half foot, I
yeah,
believe.
but it's like
Yeah.
a half foot.
okay. If you wanted to have a condition so that we revise that.
Yeah, and again, I'm supportive of the
happy.
project,
Yeah,
so
thank
I'm just
you.
trying to
No, I
make
think
sure we get it
that's-
right.
No, I
It's,
think that makes
you know,
sense.
It looks like a beautiful project.
all right, so do we address it by, in the decision, commenting about what the setback is, or just comment the fact that the retaining wall at the setback is being approved? And put that into,
Yeah, I mean, we don't have the exact number. Again, I'm guessing it's a foot or less.
On the
right?
plan, it says a half foot.
As a half foot, yeah. So, we could say 6 inches, or
we can
I think,
just,
if this was in the middle of a residential neighborhood, it'd be different, but I think where
Right.
it is,
It's,
again, I just, 20 years
Understood.
from now, someone
Right.
digs out this special permit,
right,
you want it to be accurate to what you're building.
exactly.
So I think 6 inches would be accurate.
Sean, do you want to comment on this?
Sure. Through the chair, I would say, yes, 6 inches to the rear and southern sideline setback for the retaining wall would be accurate.
all right, so.
And again, given that the old setback was 1.5 feet
Mhm.
south, I mean, this to me is not a significant change, so it's just.
I think it was 5 feet something.
So I think,
5 feet on the rear, right?
Like the side was,
So on the south side was 1.6
It's
feet.
1.6.
Yeah,
and this is also retaining wall here as well?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
so that's going to be the half?
yes.
Okay, all right. All right, so if we, through the chair,
Just give me a second.
certainly.
And I know there's a lot of people involved here, but obviously construction of that wall is gonna involve encroachment on the adjoining
Correct.
property for a while, until it's built.
Yes.
And judging by all the letters, I would assume that's not gonna be a problem in the neighborhood, but
Right, well, and there's significant improvements to the right-of-way that
Yeah.
goes to the viewing area
Right.
by putting this retaining wall in. There's an old timber retaining wall that's failing, so this is
I
gonna,
see that in some of the locations. There's gonna be a fair amount of fill that has to come into your site, right, to fill this?
yeah, and actually, it'll be the foundation that we take out for the addition will go into that area.
Yeah.
So it's almost a net
Yeah,
zero there of having to truck anything in.
yeah, cool. That was my only question, Brian.
Well, why don't I just say here that the rear setback of approximately 6 inches of the retaining wall as shown on the site plan is also approved under the special permit.
That works.
Perfect.
Thank you.
I think, Brian, to the point,
South and rear.
it'll also be the side setback,
Yeah.
because that'll be the end of the retaining wall.
It was on the south side, so the south
Be-
and the
It'll be
rear.
the south and the rear,
And the-
6 inches.
So the south side and rear setback of approximately 6 inches of the retaining wall, as shown on the site plan, is also approved under the special permit.
Okay.
Thank you.
What date am I putting on the site plan?
It's the May 18th one, right?
Is it May 18th?
Well, I mean, it's the same place on both.
You can ask Sean with the most
Yeah,
recent
I think it's the
version
most
is.
recent, right?
Yes, it's 5/18.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We get to that part, I'll jump in and help you out on it.
Yeah, 'cause I don't think anybody could read that.
Really? Okay. Is there anybody in the public that would like to speak regarding this application? Okay. All right. And seeing no public, the applicant, ask the applicant if there are any final comments or questions? Okay. All right, so we're going to get into the, do you have Rachel's,
I do.
okay, all right. All right, we'll look first at the information and documents submitted. If anyone's interested, we have a listing out of all the documents and all the conditions for approval and so forth that we list out ahead of time, so we don't have to read them out individually. If anyone wants to see it, let me know, I have a copy for you. So, looking at the, I'd like to ask the applicant and the board if there's anything, and we're referring to page 3, application and hearing documents included. Are there any changes?
The only thing, and again, I didn't really see a significant change other than you called it out, but the May 18th drawing is not listed out.
We should add
I
that.
got down staff, oh, it's not.
It's not there. No.
Okay. So the certified site plan and revised 323,
Revised again,
and,
5/18.
yep. Good. Anything else on documents? All right, now we're looking at the recommended findings on page 4. Again, which there are 15 of them, but is there,
Do we want to add that the retaining wall as a half-foot
Yes.
setback?
yes. So I'll indicate on that, that the south side setback is 6 inches and so forth. I'll put that in there, okay? We'll get that in there. Anything else?
No, I don't see anything else.
Okay. All right. What is your time frame?
So the game plan is to start after Labor Day?
Okay, all right. Thank you. Okay. All right, so I think conditions for approval, we're looking at stated June 30th, Labor Day, with no demolition or construction. Everyone in agreement on that?
Yes.
Okay. And for the life of the approved project, all construction vehicles will be parked on the applicant's property, not any public street or road. We can maintain that?
Yes.
So we're gonna get rid of, Ally might make a note of this, we're getting rid of C. On your, okay, when we get to the thing, okay. And any violations? Okay. Okay. All right, Chair asks for motion to accept the documents, finding the facts, and conditions of approval as stipulated. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by John. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Just making is there any reason why we should give the applicant a straw vote?
No.
Okay,
I don't think so.
think so. And I'd like to have a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, second by Al. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Signing and voting tonight will be Al Dunno, myself, John August, and David Wilson. I'll entertain a motion to close discussion.
So,
Okay,
I'll second it.
by Al, second by John. All those in favor?
aye.
Aye.
I want you to know, we're still looking for volunteers to join the board. It really improves your muscle strength in your right hand when you have to do all these things.
Unless you're left-handed like I am.
Oh, you go left-handed as well, I just want you to know. All right, I'd like to hear it now, Al. We're getting rid of 3, but when you get to this, it goes to the next page as well.
Yep.
Okay, but right here, just after the road, before you get to this pursuant, I'm gonna read in the rest of the motion, okay?
All right.
All right, so you might want to use that. All right, I'd like to hear a motion from the clerk.
On case number 2026-07, Vincent and Jean Helfrich, our trustees through their attorney, Endo Singer's firm, Marion Rose. Property is located at 33 and 29 Snow Inn Road, Assessors Map 8, parcel P3 and P4 in the RL zoning district. Granting is consistent with the Gale and related cases. There will be no intensification, no more existing nonconformities, and no new nonconformities, and no substantial detriment to the entire neighborhood of a pre-existing nonconforming lot, as the proposed structure will not create any additional negative impacts with respect to traffic, noise, odors, and congestion. Any relief not expressly granted hereunder is hereby denied, and all work shall be performed in accordance with the plans submitted with this application. Revisions to the approved building plans to conform to the building code regulations that do not alter what is approved by the board in this decision do not need to come back to the board for approval. Said grant of approval are subject to the following conditions. During the life of the project, there be no demolition, exterior construction, or new landscape between June 30 and Labor Day of any year. And that for the life of the project, approved project, all construction vehicles will be parked on the applicant's property and not on a public road. Bear with me on this one. Parked in the applicant's property and will not be blocked the egress on the right of way along any public street or private way. A violation of the terms and conditions of this public permit, the special permit, may be enforced as a violation of the Howard zoning bylaws, Mass General Law 40A, Section 7, and the Howard zoning bylaw as they may be amended from time to time.
Just want to add to that, as far as the approval, that the south side rear setbacks of approximately 6 inches of the retaining wall as shown on the site plan dated May 18th, 2026, is also approved under this special permit.
Thank you very much.
Okay, all those, any additional comments or motions to be made? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion's been granted.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Good luck with the projects. Looks like it's very well planned out. There you go. See this one. Al, you want to call the next case?
Case number 2026-08. Jeffrey Mazel, owner of the property located at 12 Lincoln Village Road, Assessors Map 13, parcel W1-27, in the RH1 zoning district. The applicant seeks a special permit, 32554A, 1 and A, 32554A, 2 and A, non-conforming structures and uses, 325 attachment, tape 2, table 2, area regulation, to construct a second-story addition to a pre-existing non-conforming single-family dwelling pursuant to the Howard zoning bylaws of 32554
Oh, that's okay, I can live with that.
and Mass General Law, Chapter 40A, Section 6.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Counsel.
Per the Howard Conservation Agent, the project is not in Conservation Commission's jurisdiction. The Howard Highway and Fire Departments commented they had no concerns, and there were no other comments from other town departments or butters were received. Am I correct on that? I didn't see-
You're
okay,
correct.
Okay, I'd like to ask the applicant, and those representing, helping you, to introduce themselves, and anybody helping you with the application.
Hello, I'm Jeff Merzell.
I'm Annie Marzell.
Hey, okay. So, what you got?
We want to put in a second story on the garage, over the garage. We're not encroaching on the setbacks, we're not changing the setbacks at all, we're just going up. The structure is non-conforming because of the lot size, and the garage is too close to the street per current regulation, but that was when it was built in 1959.
Okay. And I see also you're gonna do some existing attic space over the house will be also replaced by the proposed addition,
Correct.
and the ridge height of the proposed addition will be approximately 20.5 feet above grade. Okay. We'll be getting into it. Did you bring with you or have a copy of the letter, or by Rachel?
Yes, I have it.
Okay,
Yes.
you got that, good, okay, so make sure, all right. Gentlemen, does anyone have any questions regarding this?
Nope.
I have no questions.
No questions.
What's your time frame?
We're gonna start early to mid-September, sometime after Labor Day.
And from looking at it, I don't believe that there's really a hope of maintaining construction vehicles on the lot. They're gonna be on the street, pretty much.
So it's a small street.
Right.
We'll probably put most of the materials on the driveway, and we currently park one vehicle right against our property on the street, so.
Sure, okay. It, folks, I mean, obviously, the applicant's indicated he's not gonna start construction until after September, but I do believe this is warranted for our, no demolition or construction from June 30th, okay? Labor Day. And, looking at what these folks want to do, I think is consistent with the Gale and Dietrich and other related cases, and the intensification will be really reasonable as far as any nonconformities, because they're just building over the garage, and so I don't think the setbacks are really being impacted. So I would recommend the fact that we grant relief here tonight.
And there's another house in the neighborhood that's done a very similar job too,
Okay.
if not higher.
Is there anyone in the public that would like to speak regarding this case? All right, so I guess the next step here, as we're moving quickly along, is to look at, make sure we have everything accurate, in the application as far as on the decision. I don't, given the scope of this work, and the reason why I asked this about straw votes is the fact that any decision has to be done by a supermajority, which means 4 out of 5 members of the board, and we only have 4 members here tonight, so everyone has to agree to it. So, is there any reason why we need to
Nope.
No.
we do a straw vote? Seems like we're well on our way, okay? So if you look at the letter from Rachel, and if you turn to page 2. There are listed application and hearing documents, that are be included in the decision. Are there any changes? I didn't see any myself.
Changes to the documents that we submitted?
Yeah, are there any inaccuracies on dates and so forth?
No.
And there's no documents missing?
Correct.
I mean, the only thing that you might want to note is that on number 4, that those documents are undated. Drawing has no date on it. Just to be clear.
Okay, and I'll be stamping them in anyways. Okay. Okay. Then the next section is on page 3. And these are basically, when we write our decision, we put in all the findings that we've seen, just to, show why, granting relief was done, why it was reasonable, all the issues that came up. So is there anything on here, folks, that we see that might be missing? Key thing is the fact that building coverage, site coverage, and all setbacks remain unchanged. So that's a key agreement here. Okay, no changes on that. And then regarding conditions, it will be our standard 3, so we eliminate, we're not requiring them to maintain construction vehicles on, parked on the street. I mean, parked on the property, okay? So we're gonna get rid of, Al, when you read the motion, you're gonna get rid of 2.
Oh, yeah.
2 goes, so we were gonna be reading 1, 3, and 4. Okay. All right. I'd like to make a motion, we accept the documents, findings of facts, and conditions of approval as stipulated. I have a second.
Second.
Second by John.
So moved.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I'd like to have a motion to close public hearing.
So moved.
Okay,
I'll second.
Al, and second by John. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the voting on the case tonight be Al, myself, John, and David. And I'll entertain a motion to close discussion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, vote on the motion to close discussion.
Aye.
The ayes have it. All right, the chair will now entertain any discussion by the applicant. You're all set to go? Any other questions or comments? Okay. And anybody else in the case have any questions?
Nope.
So I'd like to ask the clerk to read a motion.
Case number 2026-08, Jeffrey Mizell, Mizell, owner of the property located at 12 Lincoln Village Road. The applicant has been granted a special permit under 325-54A1 and A, 325-54A2A, non-conforming structures and uses, and 325 attachment to table 2, area to construct a second-story addition on a pre-existing non-conforming single-family dwelling pursuant to the Howard zoning bylaws of 325-54 and the Mass General Law of 40A, Section 6. Granting is consistent with the Gale case and related cases, and there will be no intensification of more than one existing non-conformities, and no new non-conformities, and no substantial detriment to the entire neighborhood on the pre-existing non-conforming lot. As the proposed structure will not create any additional negative impacts with respect to noise, traffic, odor, and congestion. Any relief not expressly granted hereunder is hereby denied. All this work will be performed in accordance with the plans submitted with the application. Revision to the approved building plans to conform to building code regulations that do not alter what is approved by the board in this decision do not need to come back to the board for approval. Said grant of approval are subject to the following conditions. During the life of the project, there will be no demolition, exterior construction, or new landscaping between June 30 and Labor Day of any year. That the life of the project, of the approved project, all construction vehicles, when possible, will be parked on the applicant's property and will not block egress on the right-of-way along any public street or private way. A violation of the terms and conditions of the special permit may be enforced as a violation of the Howard zoning bylaws pursuant to the Mass General Law, Chapter 48, Section 7, and the Howard zoning bylaws as these may be amended from time to time.
Can I have a second on the motion?
Second.
Any further discussion?
Nope.
I'd like to vote on the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is approved.
It's almost premature there.
Really?
I was premature with my hand there.
Okay, that's right. You're all set, folks. Congratulations.
Thanks for what you do.
Thank you.
Good luck with your project.
By the way, just for the record, I don't believe I asked for a second on the motion on Snowland Road.
Do we have to bring them back?
I thought I gave it.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Yeah, I
Okay.
remember, yeah.
I thought he did too.
All right, well, good with that.
I heard him.
You heard him? Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Very good.
moving along.
You're the last one? Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead, Al, read the
Okay.
next case?
Case number 2026-09, Laurie Harold and through her attorney William Crowe and Michael Donovan Esquire. Property located, owner of the property located 9 Eastern Ave, Assessors Map 6, parcel G4-14 in the RH1 zoning district. The applicant seeks a special permit or in the alternative, a variance under 325-54A 4 and 5, non-conforming structures and uses. 325, attachment 2, table 2, area regulation. 325, attachment 3, table 3, height and bulk regulation, to raise and replace pre-existing non-conforming single-family dwelling pursuant to the Harwich zoning bylaws. 325, 54, and 52, and Mass General Law 40A, 6 and 10. Let's see.
What
The,
question?
per the Howard, excuse me, John?
I mean, just on the way we worded there, they are also requesting we overturn the decision of the building commissioner, right?
Yeah.
I believe. I'm not sure if that made it into the...
Not in mine.
Not mine either.
It's not in the case.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, it was in the application, but I don't think the decision's gonna be different either way, so I'm fine proceeding on a special permit process.
I mean, if you want to reconvene for another month,
I don't, no.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
no, I appreciate the offer, yeah.
Yeah, we're,
I didn't realize it didn't make it into the...
unless I don't believe I copied it, I copied this from the advertisement.
May I continue?
Well, just real quick, in a second.
Okay.
Let me see on the application, because if it's on the application, we can revise it and make it
It's in the
available.
attorney's narrative.
I know it's in the attorney's narrative, but from reading it, but I never cross-checked, but I'm looking at the application.
It does say former relief requested special permit or on the alternative variance.
I know it does that on the variance, but I don't
In
see
the-
where,
in the
I don't
first-
see, I'm looking at the application.
Yeah.
I don't see where it's cited about overturning the commissioner's decision.
I'm viewing that first, the 3 options: appeal from the decision, application for a variance, application for a special permit.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, you're right, thank you.
You are forgiven.
But as I said, I don't think the board's decision is gonna be different, so I'm happy to request this as a special permit and proceed on that. I don't wanna go back.
Well, no, you wouldn't have to go back, I just have to revise all this stuff, but that's besides the point. I think you may be in pretty good shape here, but on a
Yeah.
special permit.
So I'd say why don't we just proceed on that?
I think you might
We need
have
to do a
some-
straw vote and see
Could
what
have
it
had some
is.
support for the appeal, that's kind of why I brought that up.
Actually, not for me.
I think,
No, I wouldn't be supportive of the appeal on that case.
Okay.
I mean,
It was our straw vote, so.
Okay, so on the straw vote side, it's not gonna win. All right, and I brought some information as to why it won't win,
okay.
but I think your best alternative is gonna be on the special permit.
I would like to hear that,
change in
though, at some
height.
point.
Oh, sure, yeah,
Yeah,
I can,
yeah.
you know, I can pontificate for the best one. All righty, so, all that being said, I'd like to have the applicant introduce themselves and...
Did Al finish?
I have,
Oh, no, I'm sorry, Al, finish up.
sorry, I'm just
apologize.
sitting here relaxing.
I derailed it.
Per the Howard Conservation Agent, the project is not in the Conservation Commission jurisdiction. The Howard Highway Department, Fire Departments commented, they had no concerns. No other comments from other town departments or abutters were received.
Okay,
Okay, Attorney Michael Donovan with Kroll and Donovan here in Harwichport, representing Lori Howell, the owner of 9 Eastern Ave. And as in the narrative, and it wasn't that long ago, so the board members may recall, we were just here in August for a special permit to raise and replace the property, as there was a pre-existing non-conforming. And that was granted, and I've attached that as Exhibit A to the narrative. So the project overall was granted the special permit. The only thing we're here for today is raising the ridge height 1.5 feet, from 27.8 feet to 29.3 feet. That's the only change that's on the site plans or the building plans. So I don't want to belabor the point. My position would be that there's no, it's appropriate for a special permit. There's no substantial detriment for the raising of the roof 1.5 feet from where it was under the prior plans that were already pre-approved. And we would happy to answer any questions, to the contrary, or if there's any concerns about that. But I think it's pretty straightforward that that's the only change that's being made to the previous special permit that was already granted. Thank you.
So I had, originally, when this, back last year, I had struggled with at least looking from the abutters facing the building, facing 9 Eastern Ave, looking to the abutter to the left, where you actually share the garage,
Mm-hmm.
okay, which is, I found it
Yeah.
unique.
There's a lot of unique things down in that
Okay.
area.
That going to the height that we approved,
Mm-hmm.
I thought back there was gonna be like a big sheer wall, getting, a lot, and now we're going a lot higher.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna be in favor of a special permit here tonight, but, I was back last year concerned about the height scenario, okay,
Mhm.
as it was. Now, one thing about our zoning regulations, and I just wanted not to spend a lot of time, but just, you want to take a copy of it?
Oh, yeah.
And it comes down to semantics regarding the code as to why I would not have been in favor of overturning the building commissioner's decision. So I just copied out the code section, which I think what not only the building commissioner, but also our zoning enforcement officer, pointed out to me. And again, it's how things are worded, but these are the words. And basically, a non-conforming structures and uses, a structure, A here, a structure built in the same footprint to an increased building height. So that would mean that it would have to come in front of the board. We're going to increase building height. And so it's already been approved at one height, now we're going another increased height, and because of it's getting higher again, and because of the nature of 325-54, and looking at these clauses, the way it's written, to me, it indicates the fact that you raise the height, it's gotta come in front of the board. And the fact that that's why, one reason it came in front of the board the last time was increasing the height. And now we approved that height, now we're going to another 1.5 feet higher. And for myself, the fact that looking at the zoning regulations is why that the commissioner decided the way she did at the time, and also why our current, zoning enforcement officer feels the fact that that decision was solid as well. And as we go forward, and you may be aware of the fact that we're looking at making revisions of code going forward, certainly if there's an opportunity to clarify something, we may be able to do that in the future. But it would have to be, from my point of view, and the zoning enforcement officer's point of view, revising the statute.
But if I could comment
Sure.
first. My interpretation of this has always been if that aspect was non-conforming. So if it was already over 30 feet and we granted a special permit to go higher, then this covers it, but the building height was never non-conforming.
But the property is non-conforming, so that's where A comes in. I hear what you're saying, it's a matter of semantics, I just think this needs to be revised, to be able to do that in the future.
I read it the same way as Brian.
You did, okay.
So,
Anyways,
Yeah.
that just, regarding overturning the building commissioners,
yeah,
it wasn't gonna happen with me tonight, okay?
yeah, I would just, if I may, just, one, yeah, I agree with John that I think that it's not increasing the non-conforming nature because it wasn't non-conforming, if we look just at the bylaw. And I'm not into back and forth, I just
Right.
want to share what I
But
had
then
on
what
it,
comes into
and then-
play is that additional height now become a detriment to the neighborhood. So, as I said, I struggled with the height last year
Yeah,
when it was, and I approved something that was lower than what you're going for now.
yeah,
So I struggled with that last summer. And I would want to know that all of a sudden it's going up higher. From my point of view, it might have made an issue for me,
okay.
okay?
And then the other, which, may be more, something that goes to town council, is we're looking at just the bylaw and reading the bylaw, interpreting the bylaw, but the interplay with chapter 40A, section 6, the bylaw can't trump Massachusetts law. And so that interplay there is where, where I cited the KP law.
Sure, but
saying
again-
that. And that's not really probably for this board as much as whether the board may want to at some point get a town council opinion on that component of it.
But on a non-conforming lot, if one of the issues is whether or not it's gonna be the change detrimental to the neighborhood. And a change of height, even though you're still under the 30 feet, based upon average grade, that can still be considered detrimental to a neighborhood. Okay. If this neighborhood was all single-story ranch houses, and all of a sudden there's gonna be a 30-footer next to it on a lot, that might be considered detrimental to the character of the neighborhood. So anyways, height increases do matter. And even though it's still under the 30-foot scenario, it does matter. And that's why it's back to the board.
Yeah, so I would just,
So,
on my narrative, at the bottom of page 3 is where I'm citing a KP law letter that's saying no zoning ordinance or bylaw can apply to a pre-existing non-conforming single or two-family dwelling if the alteration does not increase the non-conforming nature of said structure. And what I'm submitting is that the building commissioner can make that determination, whether they believe it's increasing the non-conforming nature of the structure. And if the decision is it's not, then it doesn't need to go to the ZBA.
I hear what you're saying,
Okay, all right, yeah.
but I think in this case, I think the building commissioner acted accordingly. That's from my point of view.
Yeah, no, and they have the right to say, I made that determination, but what I'm hearing from the private building commissioner is, I'm not making that determination, everything has to go to the ZBA. And that's the part that I'm saying.
I
I
hear
think
you.
they
I
have the authority to make the decision, in their view, does it increase the non-conforming nature? And if they answer that in the affirmative, then it needs to go to the ZBA. But they have the discretion to answer that in the negative and say, I don't think it does, and the building commissioner can make that determination. It doesn't have to go back up to the ZBA for this.
Yeah,
That's all I'm.
You're right, and
submitting.
also, unless they feel there may be a reason why the change, even though it was not creating a new nonconformity, might be detrimental, then it goes to the ZBA.
Okay.
So, anyway, that's for another
Yeah,
time,
okay.
and this is, certainly, your class assignment for tonight is any way that you feel that, because we're gonna be working on stuff like that, this type of this code here can
Right,
be
yep.
revised.
Yep.
So that, to the benefit of a future client, have at it,
Okay,
because I would welcome your input.
thank you.
Is there anyone in the public that'd like to speak to this case? Yes, sir. You just go to the podium, please.
Hi, my name is Frank Gessing. I'm one of 3 permanent residents on Eastern Avenue. I'm a direct abutter of
Your last name again, Frank?
Gessing, G-E-S-I-N-G, Frank Gessing.
Okay. If you could probably, when you get done signing, just so we have Okay, that'd be great.
I'm sorry?
Just sign in up
Is
there.
there a sign-in
Is it-
sheet on the podium?
Right on top.
I'll be glad to sign anything you have. Where is it?
No sheet there?
I'm pretty sure. Besides the point. Oh, the last person, somebody took it. It was there earlier. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you're granted relief. Someone grabbed it.
Let me just give him a piece of paper, or?
No, it's a question. Go ahead, sir, Frank. Thank you.
I do support this project, and I don't think the 1.5 foot will make much difference.
Sure, okay.
But I wanted to, when this project came up in August, I told you that Eastern Avenue is one car width wide, and you created a sentence that no contractors can block egress or ingress on Eastern Avenue, and I'd ask you to continue to make that additional clause this time.
Yes, sir. Okay.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Well, thanks for your input. Appreciate it, Frank. Anyone else like to speak to this? Okay.
I'm just, is it gonna be turned down because of are you furthering this appeal or not?
We haven't voted yet.
We haven't voted yet, sir. At the moment, you know, I'm sure we'll see what happens here, but would you like to,
No, it's okay.
do you have any,
She's a good friend and a neighbor. I didn't was concerned about.
so can I just ask your name, sir? Just
Sure. Richard Santos,
Yeah.
and 3 Eastern Avenue.
It sounds like you're supportive of the project.
And you're supportive?
Yes.
Okay. Well, two neighbors, that kind of blows my Dutchman issue, isn't it, Mike, huh? Boy, took the wind out of my sails. Thank you very much for coming tonight, for your neighbor. It was very nice of you. Okay, anybody else? All right, now we might as well head right into the findings of facts here. You got a copy, Mike?
I do, yes.
Okay. Well, Attorney Donovan. Starting off here, looking at page 2, bottom.
Yep, that was all fine.
Everything's fine on that?
Yes.
Everybody in agreement on the application and hearing documents? Okay. That goes on to, 4, 5, and 6 on page 3. And then on the page 3, recommended findings and conditions.
Yep, those are all fine from my standpoint.
Okay. All right, so obviously, there's no hope here of maintaining vehicles on the property.
That was what the neighbor just requested.
Well, no, I think we.
You requested
we
egress.
changed the wording that they not block
So-
access to the road.
Right.
All right, so that, for the, I'm just gonna read the typical thing we have here, that for the life, one condition is gonna be that for the life of the approved project, all construction vehicles, when possible, will be parked on the applicant's property. Obviously, there's a driveway that's there, that sure can be utilized.
Yep.
And will not block egress on the right-of-way along any public street or private way. So, and, yeah, we're talking about a narrow road here, and I'm not even, it's gonna be a juggling act to get things done and not block egress. So just make sure that the construction companies are well aware
Yep,
of what they're doing.
yep.
There are actually 2 driveways,
Right.
one to the left and one to the right. So
That's true.
half of that, to the left of that is a driveway, including half of that garage.
Shared
So-
garage.
In the shed, so they should be able to park some of the vehicles up
A
there.
lot of
and-
them, yes.
Right, and they just need to be able to just maintain and keep aware of the fact if another vehicle's coming down.
Yep.
Particularly a large landscaping truck and so forth.
Yep.
That, we tend to see a few of those around Harwich.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. All right, I'd like to make a motion to accept the documents, findings of facts, and conditions for approval as stipulated.
So moved.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'd like to ask for a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Vote on the closing?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Okay, voting the case is Al, myself, John, and David. And I'll entertain a motion to close discussion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Dave. I'd like to vote on the motion to close discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Al, we're gonna get rid of 2. Other than that, I'd like to ask the clerk to make a motion.
Case number 2026-09, Laurie Harold, through their attorney, Michael Donovan Esquire. Owners of the property located at 9 Eastern Avenue, assesses map 6 parcel G4-14 in the ARH1 zoning district. The applicant has been granted a special permit under 325-54A, 4 and 5 non-conforming structures and uses, and 325 attachment 2, table 2, area regulation, 325 attachment 3, table 3, height and bulk regulation, to raise and replace a pre-existing non-conforming single-family dwelling pursuant to the Howard zoning bylaws of 325, 54, 52, and Mass General Law 48, Section 6. Granting is consistent with the Gale and related cases, and there will be no intensification of one or more existing nonconformities and no new nonconformities and no substantial detriment to the entire neighborhood. On a pre-existing nonconforming lot, as it is proposed, the structure will not create any additional negative impacts with respect to traffic, noise, odor, and congestion. Any relief not expressly granted hereunder is hereby denied, and all works will be performed in accordance with the plans submitted with the application. Revision to the approved building plans to conform to building code regulation that do not alter what is approved by the board in this decision do not need to come back to the board for approval. Said grant and approval are subject to the following conditions. During the life of the project, there will be no demolition, exterior construction, or new landscape between June 30 and Labor Day of any year. That for the life of the project, of the approved project, all construction vehicles, when possible, will be parked on the applicant's property and will not block egress to the right-of-way along any public street or private way. A violation of the terms and conditions of the special permit may be enforced as a violation of the Howard zoning bylaws pursuant to Mass General Law 48, Section 7, and the Howard zoning bylaws as these may be amended from time to time.
Any discussion on the motion or any changes?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
I'd like to hear a second, please.
Second.
Vote on the motion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Closure.
Would Tip O'Neill be happy to see that tear down?
I think so. And Millie.
And Millie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Used to see them.
Which one is that?
It's the home on,
Woodland?
yeah, Woodman. O'Neill's house was on the right-hand side.
Oh.
Years back.
Okay, I'd like to have the clerk call the next case.
Would you pronounce your last name for me, please?
Church, just
Church.
like Sunday, people
Just
go to
like Sunday.
church.
Case number 2026-10, Mary Church, trustees of the Woodland Road Realty Trust, through their attorney, Michael Donovan Esquire. The owners of the property located at 26 Woodland Road, Assessors Map 7, Parcel G6 in the RL zoning district. The applicant seeks a special permit or in the alternative, a variance of 325-54A, 4 and 5. Non-conforming structures and uses, and 325, attachment to, table 2, area regulation to raise and replace a pre-existing non-conforming single-family dwelling and a detached garage pursuant to the Howard zoning bylaws of 325, 54, and 52 in Mass General Law 48, Sections 6 and 10. The Howard's Conservation Agent, this project is not a Conservation Commission jurisdiction. Howard's Highway and Fire Departments commented with no concerns. No other comments from the town departments or abutters were received.
Yeah, I'd like to ask the applicant, attorneys, introduce themselves and those assisting you in presenting this application.
Hi, Attorney Michael Donovan, Kroll and Donovan here in Harwichport. And my client, so this is Mary Church over here, who's the trustee of the trust that owns the property, which is effectively her and her husband, Paul, who's seated next to me. One thing is, there was several letters of support that were submitted. Do you not have any of those? I have copies if need be here.
I'd be very happy.
There were a couple. What'd I do with them?
Why am I short on?
They just came
Some
in,
of them just came
they
in.
came into us
Around the
today.
table this morning.
All right, I didn't go to my file today. So, why don't you hand them to me, and
I'll find them.
whoever has, do you have copies, David, of the,
I
I
don't
don't
have,
have them either.
I don't have copies, it came in via email.
oh. Well, that's what I get for not opening up my town email.
Approach and give them to
I hope the clerk, I hope the clerk of, Howard's clerk isn't listening tonight, the fact they don't mind my email account.
I did note that they were in favor.
Okay.
Wouldn't be handing them out otherwise.
Yes.
You and Paul work well together.
You're on your second application tonight, and I haven't gotten a single Howard story. So, I mean, see,
I have to get them from
if his
him before I
partner was
show
here-
up? Is that what I need to do?
he would know something about this neighborhood.
And where the name came from, and,
Okay?
oh, yeah.
Really, it's, next time, come back with the other guy. We'll see, we'll hear a story.
Yeah. He likes to entertain them, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so we have two letters of support, and since these folks took the time to do this, I'm going to read them into the record. This one is from James and Debbie Welch of 34 Bayview Road, Harwichport, Mass. To whom it concern. We are writing in support of our neighbors, Paul and Mary Church, regarding the application to build a new home at 26 Woodland Road. We fully support the request, as the churches have been respectful, responsible, and considerate neighbors, and we believe this new home will be a positive improvement for the property and the surrounding area. The proposed construction will enhance the appearance and value of the street while maintaining the character of the neighborhood. We do not believe the project will create any negative impact on neighboring properties. On the contrary, we believe it will contribute positively to the community overall. We respectfully ask the board give favorable consideration to this application. Sincerely, James and Deborah Welch. Very nicely done. This letter is from Jeannie S. and John H. Wheeler, Jr. of 22 Woodland Road. To whom it may concern, We are writing in support of Mary and Paul Church's application for a special permit or variance to raise and replace their current home at 26 Woodland Road. We have known Mary and Paul for more than 40 years as neighbors and friends, and during that time, we have found them to be friendly, caring, and deeply committed to the neighborhood and community. Having lived next door to them, we have always appreciated their thoughtfulness and consideration as neighbors. Based on our understanding of their proposed plans, we believe the new home will be fully in keeping with the character and appearance of the surrounding neighborhood. We are confident the project will be a positive addition to Woodland Road and the community as a whole. Accordingly, we fully support their application and respectfully ask that the special permit be approved. Sincerely, Jeannie S. and John H. Wheeler, Jr. Okay, very nice.
Can I tell a story since?
Yeah,
he wasn't
someone's
able
got to
to?
tell a story.
So, I had a very busy weekend. So I just picked the documents up yesterday, and I actually had to meet someone at the Chamber of Commerce, and I was reading all these in the parking lot. And your factual background basically says that the house is located off the Harwich main parking lot where the Chamber of Commerce is, and I'm like,
Yeah, I was doing the same turn.
Yeah,
This
that was a cut and paste problem, yeah. That's great.
I drove around the neighborhood
Oh,
three
come on.
friggin' times.
Come
I
on,
was
you know
in
where,
the- I was
you
in
know
the
where
Chamber of
Woodland
Commerce
is,
parking
come
lot.
on.
reading this. I'm like, no, that cannot be.
Are you paying for this?
I have this on there,
I haven't
crossed
got
it
the bill
out.
yet, so we'll
I
see.
I think,
It depends on how this goes.
I mean, I deduct $25.
I was wondering if you were gonna catch that.
Yeah,
The irony for me was, that's where I was, as I'm
Yeah, I know, that is
sitting in the
pretty
parking lot waiting for Cindy to show up. And like, I don't think so.
All right.
Proceed.
You ready to proceed?
Thank you, I meant to bring that up. Go for it.
All right, so the church's, Mary's family has this house since 1984. And her and Paul recently obtained full ownership of the property and plan to redo the house, obviously demolish it, rebuild it, as it's gonna be their retirement home. They're hopefully retiring fairly soon, and turning that into their retirement home there. And the area is well-known to them. Not only do they have that house, but Mary's brother's on Bayview Road, another brother on Snow Inn, her sister's on Air Lane, and she has cousins on Bank Street and Pleasant Street.
Is
So
this the
they're
Welshes that
all over.
wrote the letter?
Yeah, exactly, it's one of them, yeah. And the other one wrote the letter, the other one wrote the letter at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll give that letter,
One of them also wrote the letter for the first case.
For the first
right?
case,
The
yeah.
Welshes are all
That's
over
what
the
I'm
place.
saying, yeah.
well, we're only gonna give a half a point for his letters.
They're good writers, I mean, why would you not, right?
They do better cut and paste than somebody.
So they're looking to make this their forever home. And this home was built in 1925. We've been in front of the Historical Commission and have the ability to proceed with the construction. You hopefully can see from the plans, or if you've been to the property, that it right now has a single-family home and a detached garage that's, I think, 6 inches
Yeah, anyways.
6 inches from the lot line on that side. So what they're looking to do is to knock down and then combine it and put the garage as part of the house. And in fact, they're moving that from where it is now at 6 inches to 10 feet on that side, on that east side, where it's non-conforming. It's both non-conforming with respect to the garage being 6 inches, and the house itself is also at 17 inches. So the new house is gonna be more centrally located, less non-conforming than the existing house is. And then on the other sides, they're conforming in the rear and in the front and on the west side, and those are all gonna stay to be conforming on those sides. So the only thing that we're focused on, that I'm focused on, and I think the board is focused on, is that east side there, what's going on. And we would submit that what's being done there is an enhancement to the property, and reducing the nonconformity from 6 inches to, or, yeah, approximately 6 inches to 10 feet on that side. And we would submit that change there, more centrally locating the house with the garage on the lot, and we're not over anything with respect to building or site coverages or anything. Those are all conforming, and those are all staying conforming. So it's really just a single change to that east side, and that's actually an improvement to the setback. And we would submit that this is appropriate for a special permit under Gale and the related cases. The board has the ability to grant a special permit if it finds it would not be substantially more detrimental to the entire neighborhood than the existing nonconformity. We think, we'd submit that that is the case here, as there will not be negative impacts with respect to traffic, noise, odor, congestion. And in fact, it's an improvement to the placement of the structures on the lot itself. Be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Okay, thank you. Timetable?
After Labor Day,
Okay.
I'd like to start in September. Yeah.
Well, actually, and just talking openly here with the crew, I found because of this is a cross street, fairly good size. All the lots are reasonably, they're not tight. I actually don't see any reason to even have the date requirement on this one.
To have what?
The date requirement.
Oh, the date requirement.
I mean, I think you're gonna be able to maintain most of your vehicles on the site, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so, are you fine with that condition as far as maintaining your construction vehicles on the site?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
We'll
okay.
make that work.
And even if occasionally that one's off, the street's wide enough, I don't see any problem. And I really, it's one of those where I don't see a problem during the season, because there's not traffic on this road going to the beach.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think it's almost a moot point, though.
Yeah, no, I realize
Where we are
that.
in the year, by
Yeah.
the time you get the special permit and file it and get,
Get the
That-
building
that's,
permit.
that's start the 1st of
But-
August.
But,
But this may extend another year. This will be done. by-
yeah, so I just assume,
Don't
I mean,
tell them that. Don't tell them that.
no, you never know.
It may or may not.
All right, thank you.
I'm just saying the fact that,
Yeah.
I
And again, I don't have no objection to removing it, but.
Yeah,
again, I
so-
think-
Alan, we do get to the things here. My recommendation is gonna be to not force the date requirement.
And the demolition?
Yeah, during the life of the project, there'll be no demolition, so one goes, probably. That's my opinion, okay? I think it's fine. Questions, John?
It's a good, nice project.
Just a thought, are you gonna be able to maintain any of that grove of trees in the back?
Yeah. The only question I have is the final septic design hasn't been done. We're getting Moran.
Yeah, no, we have no jurisdiction over that,
Oh.
I'm just trying to.
Yeah, well, I want to keep as many trees as we can.
Okay.
But we're going to have to take a couple of the locusts down that are in the yard,
Yeah, absolutely, I appreciate that, just,
because it gives us some shielding from the neighbor's court that's in the back.
yeah, just as a courtesy, I think of your neighbors, yourself, if you maintain as many trees as you can, it'd be great.
Yeah.
All right. We don't oversee trees, but,
Mention foundation.
huh?
Thankfully.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Al,
We're ready.
any questions? No, we're just gonna, don't read yet.
I got no question.
All right,
No
Dave?
questions, Brian.
okay,
Covered them all.
all right.
Okay. One thing that I just wanted to mention that you reminded me of, and I'm not sure, you've added a clause in these saying that you don't have to come back if the building permit process requires some tweak or something.
What I have in here, and see if this meets your, that revisions to the approved building plans to conform to the building code regulations that do not alter what is approved by the board in its decision do not need to come back to the board for approval.
Okay, so there's two things that they think they're gonna change.
Okay, this
One's
is
just-
this is a good time to bring it up.
That's what I am. They think the elevation is gonna come down a foot. And the bulkhead is gonna move from the rear to the west side, but still be outside the setback area.
We're gonna need a new site plan on that.
You are, okay.
I mean, if at
Yeah.
some point,
Oh, yeah.
It actually should be with the approval, but that's, but you are planning on changing the height, right? So it's gonna be,
Foot shorter.
it's gonna be
It's
shorter.
gonna be shorter. We're looking at,
It's not an increase in building height to that discussion we had earlier.
So revisions to the approved building plans, including lowering of building height, how's that? Okay,
Why do you need to make a note of that? Because what if he decides that he wants to retain the 29.8 feet or whatever it is?
Well,
he's-
because it says all work needs to be performed in
In accordance
compliance
with
with
plans.
the approved plans, so
That
that's
does-
why,
That does not alter, all the work that does not alter this doesn't require approval by us again. So you're not altering our decision if you're less than 29.8 feet.
given the,
Correct.
given the technical way that the case that we had before, I wanna make sure we spell it out that,
yeah, I would
All right.
prefer we put it in just for the reasons that we say that we're now back to the building department, and they say, oh, any change requires me to go back.
okay. All right, so revisions to the approved building plans, including,
But the thing says to an increased building height. This is a discussion we had in the last case. So
that's
again,
right, that does say increased building height.
Increased building height, doesn't
So
say
we-
change.
So we don't have to, that says increase, doesn't say any building height, it's increase.
So your argument is a decrease is not required.
I'm arguing that a decrease does not require us to come back. And I would be worried that they turn around next week and decide it's not 28.5.
Yeah, A says to an increased building height. If they go to a lower building height, there's no need of coming back.
But doesn't somewhere in the end of your order say, all work shall be performed in accordance with the plan submitted?
Does.
And I know I've gotten sent back here before on that phrase, saying that they submitted a new plan that
We had that a couple months ago.
did something, and they say, well, that, because of that phrase, and I could understand why the building department did. They're saying like, that's what it says.
My understanding if those changes are only if they affect our decision.
Yeah, well, but the thing is, where are you putting the bulkhead? Is it-
Where the deck is.
yeah,
West side of the property?
it would go.
Still on the north?
The stairs are gonna go away. There's no exit from this room, and the bulkhead's gonna go right there,
It's on the west side.
on the west side. So it's well within that.
Instead of saying ST, where it says stairs there, that's what's gonna, maybe be bulkhead?
Yes.
Here or in here?
Yeah, it's gonna, the stairs, the bulkhead's gonna go with the,
Perpendicular
yeah,
to the
perpendicular
ST.
to the stairs.
Where it says 9 feet, it's gonna start, or 6 feet, it's gonna start from there, and come out and end, like at the beginning of the
Go the other way.
stairs. So it's outside the 20
It's like
feet.
they're gonna- It's gonna be like this.
Essentially, the stairs coming up, it's just gonna be covered with a bulkhead.
No, the
No, the bulkhead's gonna be in.
Bulkhead's to the right of
Bulkhead's
it.
in.
To the,
Off the right of it.
yeah, to the right of the stairs, yeah. You're coming from the house.
It's gonna be in that corner there.
And we're
Right,
probably-
yeah,
and I
that
think
corner.
we're gonna get rid of the stairs to put the bulkhead there.
So it's between the stairs and the house.
Right.
It's really just because the bulkheads was sticking out
Okay,
in the back.
revisions the approved building plans to conform all right, so right now, the bulkhead is going to be not inside the setback.
Correct.
Okay,
Right, not inside,
all right.
what you
Yeah.
call it, yep.
Can you just leave it, instead of trying to get specific to the bulkhead and roof, can you just say that changes that do not increase any dimensional,
Non-conformity.
not gonna.
I think that's what his standard
nonconformities.
clause says.
Not,
Well, there's two clauses, right? The one clause does say that you have to build what you submit the plans for.
It says,
It has to,
Yeah.
the building permit has to be issued to the set of plans approved and the special permit. That any
But that-
variation
But the second one allows for changes with the building that don't affect our decision.
Yeah, but here's the deal. How things are done is, when I stamp the documents, the site plans have to be the ones that's what they're going for the building permit for. That's the deal.
And that second statement only relates to changes that are because of code
Right.
requirements.
Right.
Right.
That's the
Not because
concern.
of a dimensional change. Right. But I've felt before, before these other cases, is that those type of, it doesn't change the nonconformities that, were the topic of discussion on the special permit approval. It shouldn't have to come back again. I've always felt that. It's like,
Yep,
you know,
I agree in principle.
All right, so revisions to the approved building plans to conform to building code regulation and/or do not create or change nonconformities.
Mhm.
Do not alter what is approved by this board is a decision, do not need to come back to the board for approval.
Thank you.
So we're gonna put in, we'll get in there, and/or do not create or change nonconformities,
Thank you. Sounds good.
okay? All right, oh, actually, the problem with that one is, that would allow them here, all of a sudden come back and do a whole side thing here.
Right, they can do anything.
They can do anything, so that doesn't work.
theoretically. They can,
Yes, it
the
does.
same thing
So-
says that they can
Okay,
continue along the same line. They already have that right.
right, but they had that right to get, they had that right to start with, but we're now looking at the plans here. So, and/or are minor adjustments that do not create or change nonconformities. So a minor adjustment, they'll look at that as a bulkhead.
Okay,
We hope.
Minor adjustment, I'll even say it's such as a bulkhead.
sure.
Bulkhead location.
Bulkhead location. I'm gonna be in trouble with Rachel on this one. All right, so and/or are minor adjustments such as a bulkhead location which do not create or change a nonconformity. Okay,
Thank you.
we good to go?
We are good.
When do you think you may have revised plan, just out of curiosity?
Dan is supposed to do our septic design in the next month
All right, okay.
at Moran.
Yep. Okay. So, we get to this because we're looking at all right. I'm going to add to the recommended findings and conditions
Mhm.
a clause that discusses this.
Okay.
But obviously, before going for any building permits, you've got to get those plans.
Oh, yep.
Okay, and I'm just gonna add in the fact that, if for any reason the building department doesn't agree with this decision and they feel it needs to come back, I'm gonna put in the fact that the board is, make a motion that there be no fees or, fees for doing so. All right, So that would include advertising, whatever, so that if for some reason it doesn't work out, I don't want you paying another application fee or whatever fees to come back and, you know, see you in August before you go for a building permit,
Appreciate that, thank you.
okay? All right? So, and that being the case, worst case scenario is, sir, you just show up yourself, sit here, we stamp everything, and you get out of here in 10 minutes. All right? You know, because you don't want Mike copying over the wrong paragraph again. You know. So he just,
You got a lot of hay out of that one, huh?
so you can bypass his, you know, I'm just trying to say, if you want to make it easy on yourself, bring Mike along, that's great, but for some reason you have to come back, they determine it, I'm gonna indicate the fact that I think we're authorized to do that, not to collect any fees, you know, whatever. That's our vote, and have you just come back in with a new set of plans that we stamp and get you out of here. If that's worst
So
case
all we
scenario.
have, oh, okay, that's
It's
if
just
somebody,
plans. Yeah, if they balk at the language not being on the plan, they say you need a
Oh,
new
okay.
plan. Yeah,
Yeah,
you just bring
I
the
mean,
plan in.
yeah, no problem.
Okay. You know, the other people who can block at, town clerk can block at the situation, all right? Building commissioner or can block at it, zoning enforcement officer can block at it and kick it back. Say that we acted not in proper order, okay? So,
Okay.
but if they don't, we're home free, otherwise I'm gonna take care of it, okay? So. Okay, so we covered, so anything else on recommended findings and conditions? We all set there?
No, all set.
Okay. All right, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the documents, findings of facts and conditions as, and approval as stipulated. I have a second?
Second?
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I have a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, vote on the case, be Al, myself, John August, and David Wilson. I'll entertain a motion to close discussion.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Oh, sorry, who seconded?
Me.
Oh, Al, okay.
Mwah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, so we're gonna get rid of,
Right up here.
you're gonna get rid of one, and then I'll read in, after you get done, I'll read in the change, okay?
Oh, thank goodness. All right, case number 2026-10, Mary Church, trustees for the Woodland Realty Trust through her attorney, Michael Donovan. They're the owner of the property located at 26 Woodland Road, assesses map 7, parcel 6, RL zoning district. They've been, applicant has been granted a special permit on the 325-54A, 4, and 5, non-conforming structures and uses, 325. Attachment to Table 2 area regulation to raise and replace a pre-existing non-conforming single-family dwelling and detached garage pursuant to the Howard zoning bylaws of 325, 54, and 52, and Mass General Law 48, Section 6. Granting is consistent with the Gale and related cases, as there will be no intensification of one or more existing nonconformities and no new nonconformities, and no substantial detriment to the entire neighborhood on a pre-existing nonconforming lot. And as the proposed structure will not create any additional negative impacts with respect to noise, traffic, odor, and congestion, any relief not expressly granted hereunder is hereby denied. All works will be performed in accordance with the plans submitted with the application. Revisions to the approved building plans to conform with the building code regulations and that do not alter what is approved by the board. And this decision did not come back to the board for approval. Said grant and approval are subject to the following conditions. Go ahead.
Well, no, you read out 2, 3, and 4.
All right, 2, 3, and 4. That the life of the approved project, all construction vehicles will be parked on the applicant's property and not any public street or road. The life of the approved project, all construction vehicles, when possible, will be parked in the applicant's property and not,
Okay.
We-
Yeah, we screwed that one up. Are you gonna be able to maintain everything on the site?
all your
We should be
construction
able to.
vehicles.
Should be able to, yeah.
Oh, here, just, we'll tell you what, we're gonna eliminate 2. And we're gonna go with 3 and 4.
That for the life of the approved project, all construction vehicles, when possible, will be parked in the applicant's property and will not block egress on the right-of-way along any public street or private way. A violation of the terms and conditions of the special permit may be enforced as a violation of the Howard zoning bylaws pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 48, Section 7, and the Howard zoning bylaws, as these may be amended from time to time.
Okay, so I'd like to offer revision of this, that on the revisions to the approved building plans to conform to the building code regulations and/or minor adjustments which do not create or change a nonconformity, a pre-existing nonconformity. That do not alter what is approved by the board in this decision, do not need to come back to the board for approval.
Yep. I thought you were going to throw in the parentheses there, such as a bulkhead
Okay.
relocation.
Yeah, excuse me, I'm sorry, you're right. Yep. Such as a bulkhead location. Okay. Okay. We'll send you a copy of this before we send it to the town clerk.
Okay.
All right, can I have a second on this motion as revised?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
I think what he calls the case.
Good night.
See you later. Al, would you call the next case, please?
Case number 2026-11, 66 Doan Road. Joe and Lisa Weiner, through their attorney, Paul Vassal, I should say.
I'm sorry, sir, I'm not an attorney. I'm just representing them. They're in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Thank you.
And you are?
My name is Paul Vassal.
You are Paul Vassal?
Yes.
Okay. Owner of the property located at 66 Doan Road, assessors map 21 parcel W5-3, ERM zoning district. The applicant has been granted a special permit under 325 A and 2 non-conforming structure.
Hold on a
What am I
second.
doing?
What
What am I
did
looking at? What am I looking at here? I got
Hold on a
the wrong-
second here. You better read off I made a mistake.
Yep, it
This
is.
is one of those pacing issues.
Where's, I think Attorney Donovan left, or?
Can I see the agenda? Sure.
Let me just read it from the agenda.
Yeah, see it from the agenda.
It's easier. Okay, case number 2026-11, Joel and Lisa Weiner, through Paul Vassal, owners of the property located at 66 Doan Road, assessors map 21 parcel W5-3 in the RM zoning district. The applicant seeks a special permit or an alternative, a variance under 325-54A and 2 non-conforming structures and uses in 325 attachment to table 2 area regulation to construct exterior stairs on the accessory dwelling unit pursuant to the Howard zoning bylaws 325, 54, and 52, and Mass General Law 48, Sections 6 and 10. We can catch up with this one now.
Okay, per the Howard Conservation Agent, portions of the deck and the patio that are in the 100-foot wetland buffer zone were never approved by the Conservation Commission and need to be. Conservation only approved the limit of work to be in the 100-foot buffer zone, but no structure. The Conservation Department will reach out to the applicant to direct them to file an after-the-fact request for determination of applicability. Has that happened to this point?
No, I was just made aware of that.
Okay, so-
And that, but I've worked with Amy extensively in the past, and I've already sent her an email and said, you know, what do we need to do? So,
Okay. And the Howard Highway and Fire Departments commented no concerns, and no other comments from other town departments nor butters were received. One second here, just give me a moment, get better organized. Just before you get started here, we did get, question was raised and asked of town council.
yes,
Did you get that?
I did, yes, thank you.
Okay. So, do we all have that report from the town council?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. The, what is the gross floor area of this structure? It's over 1,000 feet, correct?
960.
960,
Right, thank
that's
you,
right,
thank
correct, thank you. All right, thank you very much. Okay, first, actually, let me, before I start in this thing, please, I'd like you to introduce yourselves, and I don't know if there's anyone helping you out tonight.
I'm Paul Vassal. I'm helping out the whiners here. I have built buildings in the town, and I'm building right across the street right now. Not to get ahead of myself, but the staircase is super important for the safety in this place, and I'm even prepared to build off-site and not disturb the summer noise ordinance that we've talked about today. But if we get to that point.
Sure.
But there is and the other thing I want to say is, to clarify, that the deck that Amy's talking about is in the 100-foot buffer zone in the back of the property. The deck we're talking about for the stairs is on the side, and that's why we're seeking a special permit, because it does go into the setback.
The side setback.
Right.
Correct, thank you.
However, no permit will be, building permit will be issued until the Conservation Commission is satisfied.
Absolutely, yes.
Just so you're aware of that, okay. Okay, go ahead, you present your case, we'll go from there.
That's my case. I really don't know, I've done non-conforming before, but not for a staircase like this, so I just, I've tried to figure out where else it could go, and it just, it doesn't work anywhere else with the layout.
Fortunately, you've been bailed out on that by the town,
Okay,
all right? The second floor, the deck there that sticks out, was approved in the building permit, although it encroached into the setback.
exactly.
So because of that oversight,
Because it was not included in the site plan. It was not included in the original site plan.
it was, that's true. However, the building permits and so forth, and those documents showed it, even though, other than the site plan. And because it was signed off and approved, it actually created an approved pre-existing nonconformity.
I understand.
All right, so now, in this case here, we have a garage, open room renovation on top that's, has the opportunity to create, you know, an accessory dwelling unit. And the staircase is going to go into a pre-existing non-conforming setback.
Yes.
So
But
it's-
it should be noted, and it has been in these documents, that the deck and the patio were not captured and need to go back for approval, and this balcony was also not on the site plan, and was subsequently approved in the building permit. But I mean, that's like 3 violations that all should have been captured the first time around.
Yeah,
I did not build a patio,
Okay.
so
No, but you can bring that back to the homeowners, and
Yeah.
that's 3 significant violations right there.
yeah, and we can't, on our board, we're not in position to, at least in my opinion, to render a decision based upon what violations might have happened in the past. That's up to the building department and how they want to handle it, okay? You know, and that's where fines, or whatever they want to do, okay? But when I checked this thing out with the building department, the answer is the fact that upstairs balcony was set into the setback, and it was not picked up. That oversight, and was signed off on, even after it was built, was, you know, creates a pre-existing nonconformity in relationship now to the permit of wanting to make this an ADU, an accessory dwelling unit, and install the staircase. And basically that the attorney, the town's attorney, indicated, and I'll just read the last paragraph, accordingly, in my opinion, the ZBA should require a special permit for the accessory apartment attached to a pre-existing non-conforming dwelling. I also recommend that any special permit decision specifically note that the apartment's exterior staircase is a required second means of egress, will be an extension of the pre-existing nonconformity, but does not encroach any further into the existing setback. So bottom line is, you can't go past that upstairs balcony. Not even an inch.
correct.
Okay. All right. The, I realize the situation where it gets built and, you know, ask for forgiveness later, like how it comes across, okay?
Yes.
But the
it
bottom
does.
line is, it was built and inspected and signed off on by the town. It was built by the town, it was built, and the town did inspect it, and the town did sign off on it without raising any objections. Had the town raised an objection, then it would have had to been torn down. But it didn't, and it got approved. So, now regardless, obviously, is it a detriment? I mean, technically, you know, you're looking at the situation, at least in, you know, from my point of view, it essentially doesn't impact the neighborhood, doesn't impact the abutters. I don't think it's a, you know, we may have some technical issues here, but looking at it as a detriment, it isn't, and it falls really, you know, the fact of how it became a non-conforming setback, we have to keep a blind eye to that. It doesn't exist. In fact, it does exist as far as it's there, and it is a pre-existing non-conforming setback at this point, you know, approved by the town. Okay. Now, how the conservation wants to go forward with the rest of their review, you know, where they're encroached in the 100-foot barrier, you know, that's their call. And nothing can go forward without that, without the approval of the Conservation Commission Department signing off on the building permit.
Okay.
All right. Um, Is there any of the public, apparently there may not be, they want to speak to this, and hearing none, I'll ask if there's any questions, starting with John?
No, I mean, I think, a lot of concerns of how we got here, but I understand how we got it, so, that's what it is.
Al? I'm with John. It got here. It's before us, and I have no questions.
David?
No additional questions.
Okay. Do you have a copy of the documents and findings on this case? The letter from, there would have been a letter, I'm sorry, a memo from,
The town council?
no,
Rachel.
from Rachel, May 18th? Why
No,
don't
I
you-
don't, I'm sorry.
No, that's not a problem. We're not going to deduct for points of this. Okay, now I gotta grab, I think I just handed him one copy. Hang on a second.
You want mine?
Yeah, why don't you give it to me? Thanks.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Did I give you two of them?
No,
Okay,
maybe, wait a minute. Yes, I think
Okay.
there's two here.
all right. Hey, thanks a lot, appreciate it. Okay, so you might, Paul, I might turn to page 3. So what this portion of the program just goes to verify all the documentation that's gonna go into the special permit.
Mhm.
So in this case here, you have items 1 through 6. Is there anything that, in your opinion, we're missing?
Well, you know, I did have one question about Rachel's memo.
Okay, go for
On
it.
page 2,
Yep.
she says, when she talks property history and proposed changes, I just want to make sure we're, the fourth line down, where she says, "These changes are now in the permitting process." This is the permit we're talking about here, right?
Yes, yes,
There's not some other
no,
permit being
Right.
applied for? Okay, I just wanted to be clear.
yeah, no. Okay, so, are we all set
Page 3.
on page 3, 1 through 6? All set there? And then on page 4 is the recommended findings and conditions.
Okay.
I am going to, so, I'm gonna be, though we typically don't do this, just to make sure that everything's clear here, I'm gonna add an additional, I recommend an additional finding, which is to repeat the fact that the grant of the special permit is subject to the approval of the site plan and building permits by the Conservation Commission. Okay, I'm gonna put that in there just to double it, so everyone's clear what's required. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we're all in agreement on that?
Yes.
Okay. All right,
So I'll be getting another they'll be getting another copy of this
no,
with those additional,
no, no, it's gonna be incorporated in the decision.
okay.
Okay? So, I would reach out to Amy from the Conservation
Absolutely.
Department.
I have an email into her. I should have reached out to her again today. I sent it.
It's okay, no, it's all right, I mean, who knows, I could have been slamming down the gavel and telling you to get out of here, we aren't giving approval, but that's not happening. Okay, so anyways, no, but seriously, call Amy, get the ball rolling and see what has to be accomplished, okay? From their perspective. All right, so I'd like to make a motion that we accept The documents, findings of facts, oh, regarding conditions, folks. Did you just mention, the construction's already been done? Now we're,
Well, not on the stairs.
Not on the stairs.
There's the stairs, and
you're-
there's a ton of driveway space there, et cetera. If anything was done, and again, I could do it across the street if I had to on my property, but it's, that's kind of my vision of this.
all right, so it's going to be, you have to get things squared away with the Conservation,
Yes,
Commission.
ASAP.
and you're probably not going to get a hearing till June.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so now you're going to be into July before anyone's issuing any permits.
Okay.
Will if our determination here is conditioned on the conservation,
Right.
and it's a special permit, he can't file it.
Until after.
21 days isn't gonna start until after they meet that condition.
Actually, no, it doesn't.
Is it?
Or
Or does the 21 days start? You know what
I
I'm
gotta
saying?
change this. The grant of this special permit is subject to the approval, oh yeah, I just put that in there. It's subject to the approval of the site plan and building permits by the Conservation Commission. Normally, that is the granting of the special permit is the subject to the approval of the building permits by the Conservation. So it's almost like I need to get the site plan out of there. Right?
Yeah, I'm just thinking of the time, you have the waiting period for the special permit,
Yeah.
but then you also have the timing of getting this Conservation Commission, then you have to go down to land court and file and everything. I guess what I'm saying is, it's probably honestly gonna be 6 weeks
Would they,
minimum before you can get the permit.
would I be able to do it into late June into July, or no?
I doubt it.
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, being realistic, I don't see you being able to even apply for the permit until mid-July, and
Okay,
then they have 30 days to issue the permit, so,
that's the reality.
So I guess what I'm saying is, we could put the restriction on about doing the construction Labor Day, but honestly, I think you're getting
Past
pretty
it
close to
anyway.
Labor Day anyways, by the time it works its way through this process.
Okay, well, first of all, in that location,
Yep.
would a date restriction be required?
I mean, it's only the locals know that it's a pass-through. Right?
All right, so I don't think we need.
I think
It's
you
the
know-
quietest double yellow line
Yeah, you don't
road
get a
in
lot of
Howard
tourists on
Sport.
that road. It's
Yeah,
locals avoiding the tourists.
Now, will you be able to maintain your construction vehicles on the
No
site?
question.
Okay.
I mean, if you prefab it like you said, it's really just a matter of dragging it across the street. It's probably a one-day operation to.
So I'm looking at eliminating one, which is the date requirement, and then keeping two, that we keep all construction vehicles on the property for conditions,
Mm-hmm.
and then eliminating three. So we go with 2, 4, and 5. So it being the fact of the life of the food project, all construction vehicles be parked on the applicant's property, not any public street or road. And,
We ready?
wait a minute, hold on a second, right into the special permit. I'm just going back over whether or not I should put in the thing about granting the special permit subject to approval of the site plan and building permits with Conservation Commission. I
I
think,
don't think we need that, do we?
huh?
I don't think we actually need that in there.
I mean, it's not gonna, it's
It's
true,
just-
but
get-
it's
So we're not gonna do that, so get
not
rid
gonna
of,
happen anyways
get
without
rid,
it.
get rid of 4, Al. Okay. Okay. So it would, they can file with a special permit, but that would, once that gets through the 21-day period, that means then you're gonna apply for a building permit, but that's gonna be held up until the Conservation Commission renders a decision. Okay? So we're going with just 2 and 5. Okay. All right. All right, so, I'd like to make a motion, we accept the document, finding the facts and conditions of approval as stipulated.
So moved.
Second.
Did we need to do a straw vote?
No?
I don't think so.
Anybody think you need to have a straw vote?
Nope.
No,
Thank you.
no problem. All right, all those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, I'd like to have a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, voting is Al, myself, John, and David. I'll entertain a motion to close discussion.
So moved.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Additional discussion? All set to go? All right. I'd like to ask the clerk to make a motion.
Case number 2026-11, Joel and Lisa Weiner, through their representative Paul Vassal, have been granted a special permit under 325-54A2, non-conforming structures and uses 325, attachment to Table 2 area regulations to construct exterior stairs on an accessory dwelling unit pursuant to the Howard zoning bylaws of 325, 54, and 52, and Mass General Laws 48, Section 6. Granting is consistent with the Gale and related cases, as there will be no intensification of one or more existing nonconformities, no new nonconformities, no substantial detriment to the entire neighborhood on a pre-existing nonconforming lot. And as proposed, structure will not create any additional negative impact with respect to traffic, noise, odors, and congestion. Further, the apartment exterior staircase is required. Second means of egress will be an extension of the apartment exterior staircase is required. A second means of egress, okay, existing nonconformity, but not encroach on the further into the existing setback. Any relief not expressly granted hereunder is hereby denied. All work shall be performed in the accordance with the plans submitted with the application, revisions to the approved building plan to conform with the building code regulation that do not alter what is approved by the board in this decision, do not need to come back to the board for approval. Said granting of approval subject to the following conditions: that for the life of the approved project, all construction vehicles will be parked on the applicant's property and not on any public street or road, and a violation of the terms and conditions of special permit may be enforced as a violation of the Howard zoning bylaws pursuant to 325, Mass General Law 325, Mass General Law, Chapter 48, Section 7, and the Howard zoning bylaws as these may be amended from time to time.
Can I have a second on the motion?
Second.
And before we vote, not that I'm trying to take a pound of flesh out of this, okay, but I did notice the fact that there are signs up as far as for, for vacation rentals on the property. If you have any rentals designed for June and probably July, I would clear those dates,
I agree.
okay? And
You're talking about the rentals of the ADU. He could
Yeah.
rent out the
you
main
can rent out,
house.
you can rent out the main house.
Right, right.
But the ADU, June's not happening, and I doubt July's happening, okay? As far as you being able to complete the work.
It was always built to be one house. I don't know how it got to this point. you know.
So, we have, and purposely, because it's not a major street, so it's got a yellow line for whatever reason.
Right.
like I said, it is a mystery street as far as with the yellow line. You know, you are off the hook regarding the June 30th to Labor Day restriction,
Good,
okay?
thank you.
All right, so we gave you that benefit, all right, which we typically do, as you heard tonight, you know.
Yes, of
whatever.
course.
But this is not a neighborhood which really gets impacted because of seasonal, you know, a lot of seasonal traffic, all right? And it's a wide enough road too, all right, so, but, you know, we're not in jurisdiction of rentals and so forth, but obviously, the town's aware of the situation.
Absolutely.
And it would not go down well.
No, I couldn't agree more.
Okay, so just,
I got a lot going on Doan Road. I don't need my name attached to this at all. I
no,
wish it
but just,
wasn't.
again, there was an oversight. Just want to remind the fact that we can't make another oversight and renting it out without the project being completed with required stairs.
Thank you,
That's for the safety of the owner's customers,
of course.
okay? All right, so, I entertain a vote on the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the ayes have it.
Thank you.
Hey, good luck with your endeavors on this.
With my what?
Your endeavor.
Your endeavor on this. It should go fine.
Yeah, I mean, I know I've worked with Amy so much, because a lot of Doan Road on both sides has conservation.
Yeah,
And even the
No.
12 Doan lots that I have now, the
Yep.
Rivers Act, because the Doan Creek goes through in back of 15 Doan,
Yep.
which I had done with Amy as well.
Amy and the Conservation Commission will act fairly on this.
Thank you.
I don't think you need to worry about that.
Thanks.
Okay. Well, administrative items, I think you're all aware of the fact that we have a vacancy in the building department. There is no building commissioner.
No, was not aware.
Okay, the building commissioner left.
The new building commissioner?
Eleanor,
A lot of people have left.
not of the building department.
No, but in the town hall, right here, a number of people have left. I
Uh,
read the paper today.
Right, in the building commissioner, and she just,
It was less than a year, wasn't it?
yeah, and I'm not gonna discuss the background on that, but basically, yeah, she's gone.
Okay, thank you for letting me know.
And as well as, that's the only thing we need, you know, as far as it affects us, and there's, Jack Mee is back, part-time, along with another gentleman, another building, you know, past building, because we have two part-time building commissioners. They're gonna be filling the role, you know, while they're out, you know, until it gets filled, and they've already, you know, begun to look at and interview, line up candidates for the position, okay? And all right, next up is approval of minutes. Anybody have any changes, suggestions regarding, we have two sets of minutes, April 23rd, which was the minutes from the last hearing, and, you know, on Penrose, and also on April 29th, which was the last regular meeting.
That was the
Okay.
meeting before last, right? We don't have the minutes for the.
Oh, I'm sorry, the last one, yeah, April 23rd, excuse me, thank you very much. So this is the minutes from Penrose, April 23rd meeting, and as well as our regular scheduled meeting, April 29th. I didn't see anything that jumped out at me for changes.
The only thing I had was actually the last page of the April 29th one. And it's not a big deal. There's a motion to adjourn, says voter, not vote.
Well, that would be, it's one of those pasting issues, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, well, it should probably was typing this right around Election Day. So, just need to.
Okay, where are we now?
The motion to adjourn down the bottom, the vote, it says voter, not vote.
Again, voter, 6-0 favor.
Yeah, it should just say vote, not voter.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And above, I don't know, for me, I stopped for a second, same page, under approval of the previous minutes, where it says vote 4:0:2 in favor with 2 abstain. To me, it should just be 4-0 in favor with 2 abstain. Like the two,
Yes.
the 2's in
Yep.
there twice.
Yep.
Like,
Okay.
that was it.
Anybody else, gentlemen? Okay. I'd like to make a motion, we approve the minutes.
So- Second?
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. New business. I'm gonna send you guys out, had a, Duncan, Barry, and myself have been meeting, to look at establishing a zoning review board committee, or actually work group, to look at our zoning code and to continue, to make, changes as required. Okay? So I'll send you, and it's kind of a new concept, I'll send you out, we did that, we sent an initial letter to town administrator, and which set up a meeting with him, which we had a little over a week ago. And I also prepared a overview document, concept document, which would be almost like a mission statement and explanation of how this work group would go forward, okay? And so, and also how it would be constructed. The next step on this, after the select board reorganizes, so they've had an election, and, I believe I forget, at some point in June, the select board will reorganize, and would, confirm who the chairman is and so forth. And after that happens, then town administrator suggested that Duncan and I sit down with the select board, and particularly chairman, start to discuss how this thing goes forward, if the select board, would back the whole thing. So I'm gonna send it out to you guys. Love your input. This is not a case we're talking about here, so there's no open meeting violations if you happen to be combining, and we had our, at least not in my opinion.
Right.
There's no, we're not, so you can send me back your thoughts, you can share it, everybody can see your, so you don't have to individually send them back to me, okay?
Is this I know Ken had compiled a bunch of our recommendations before. Is this sort of a next
This
phase
is
of that?
This is the next phase.
Okay.
And it's also tying in together, of course, recently there was an approval at town meeting for funding a consultant to start to look at form-based code, changes to a code. And what, in a simplistic way, form-based zoning code changes, we'll be looking at the code not strictly as dimensional things. Right now, our code is, it's about dimensions, height, sides, whatever, percentages of coverages. The new form-based code doesn't get into that. It just looks at, whether it might be the village concept or maintaining, neighborhood, character and all that kind of good stuff, or developing neighborhoods and the character of the town. And you're also looking at the recent approval of the local comprehensive plan, which at this stage, great concept, great plan, but there are no regulations that support it. So there aren't really any hard regulations that support the implementation of that plan. So the whole idea of this thing, of a new committee work group, is to start gathering community input, not just 4 or 5 people sitting down and decide what code's gonna be, but getting in, community input and, to come up with new ideas. And, I've started researching, codes from various communities on the Cape, for instance, as far as how they handle things. And not that I'm recommending this when I say this, this is a thought, but, one thing that always sometimes, when you look at detrimental effects of a construction, is, like we talked about on one of the subject properties tonight, how high does this building go until it's a detriment to the neighborhood, okay? Well, you take some of our neighborhoods that are all just ranches right now and, 14 feet high, and then all of a sudden, somebody wants to take their property and put it up 2.5 stories and 30 feet.
Yeah.
Well, that's a big impact on a neighborhood, okay? So, that's something we've wrestled with in the past. Interesting, again, this is just one idea. So anyone who's listening here tonight, don't think that Brian Sullivan's going out there and wants to change code this way, but as a concept idea, how Provincetown does it. They have one code, it's basically 2640 on their code, but it looks at development as a ratio impact to the neighborhood. So it will take, if you're proposing a development on, tearing down this house, let's say, they look at all the construction from the center of your property, 250 feet on both sides of your property, going down the street and up the street. And they look at the size of those dwellings on square footage. And except for the historic district, for the rest of the town, your construction cannot increase the dwelling size, can't be 25% bigger than the dwelling sizes of the average of the houses 250 feet either side of you. So it caps how much bigger you can, again, that's a ratio, looking at, how do we look at ratios? That's what they do for a ratio, so it's one way of addressing when they think about neighborhood character. How do you control, and it also gets into codes regarding the face, they have codes regarding the style of your roof, the pitch of your roof, all that kind of stuff, to try to create character. Well, you don't want all of a sudden a home built with a flat roof.
Yeah. I agree. But Provincetown is particularly along commercial and that area. It's a unique, it's like campground here.
Well, that's like the whole town's like that. Now, around Commercial Street,
Yeah.
they require it can't be more than 15%.
Right. To me, the challenge, though, like in Harwich, and we've talked about this in other cases, is the door that opens, people coming here or whatnot, is there an existing nonconformity, right? So like what you were saying before, is we only get that shot on building height if there's some nonconformity. If someone has a 40,000 square foot lot, and they want to build a 30-foot house,
Done deal.
there's no one has an opinion on that, right? It's only,
Right.
so it's like, I think again, not to prejudge, there needs to be some, when people are talking like the village character or like right now, that method of how things enter the process of even being evaluated would have to be addressed as well.
Absolutely.
Because you're like, that's why some of the street restrictions we do and everything, it's like, we can only do that because there's some nonconformity. If there's no nonconformity, we can't restrict it.
Right, and that's what's needed, because why the town needs to take a hard look at the zoning code, because a lot of development in conforming lots of how do you maintain and make sure, if the town just passed this new local comprehensive plan, how does that get put into what happens on building permits, you know, on conforming lots.
Yep. I mean, one thing that I think should be part of the exercise, you know, I'm not sure how much I can participate in it, is I think they should take several imaginary projects under a form-based code and try to apply that to our code and see what areas it would be in conflict with.
Absolutely agree.
You know, because otherwise, if you're trying to go paragraph by paragraph and figure it out, you know, you need sort of a sample, you know, something in the campground, something in, you know, South Harwich, you know, a couple representative projects of what, you know, form-based code would allow, and then go in and say, you know, what needs to be changed in the existing code to make that happen, because, you know, I think that's the only way to really catch all the conflicts.
So, I mean, there's still a few low-hanging fruit on some of those codes that need to be adjusted and so forth, and certainly, you know, one of them comes up that was discussed at town meeting, and I spoke about it. And I understand why the petition was filed regarding eliminating multifamily housing from, which would have been majority of the residential land in town, which I didn't think was should be done until it got vetted.
Right.
And properly vetted. But it's those types of things that we need to look at. And, you know, even simplistic things. I mean, you know, we're on this, where did some of these dimensions come from in the first place? Like, why is front setback 25 feet? Why isn't it 15? So now people can have 10 more feet in their backyards where they're entertaining and enjoying the families.
Which is more of a European concept.
No, but, you know, but,
It was exclusionary. I mean, all
Yeah.
zoning codes are exclusionary, right? I mean, that's why half of
Particularly when you
Harwich,
go up to 40,000 square feet, that
it's acre zoning.
half the town doesn't, three-quarters of the town doesn't comply with.
well, yeah, it
Doesn't
makes,
have anything to do with
It did not
septic.
comply with, it was to prevent the next one.
Right. I know, I'm just saying, that's the exclusionary zoning
yeah.
point.
Yeah.
so anyways, I just want you to know,
All right.
excuse me. So I got some concept drafts of a mission statement and how the committee would work. And again, it's designed to motivate discussion, not, you know, so it's, you know, it leaves a lot of, leaves a lot of area for review and discussion of getting to a work group that can start looking at some of the issues we have in zoning in town. And then try to relate to how the zoning needs to be adjusted to best meet the hard work that was done by the local planning committee on coming up with a current document. But that needs to be supported, I think, in regulations. And so I'm gonna send you guys out that, and there's no immediate rush on getting to it. I don't expect to be, but I would, you know, perhaps in the next, you know, week and a half, if you have an opportunity to, and I'd be happy to meet with anybody individually to go over it. Okay? All right, that's under new business. Any old business to discuss?
The only old business that, and I'm not sure if I missed it, is did we agree a date for the next?
May,
11.
well, no,
June 11th.
June 11th is the next time, and then after that, it's,
So that was the 6 PM, so we confirmed that, June 11th.
right, that's a go. And the other date, the last date is June,
25th?
June 25th at 9:30.
Okay.
So we have June 11th at 6 PM here on a Thursday, and then 2 weeks later, on the 25th, hearing at 9:30.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we didn't change that. I've got those dates.
Okay.
I got those
Okay.
dates too.
Are we all set on those dates?
Yep.
Okay. All right, well,
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned at 9:15.